All right, now that we learned about the discriminant, now we're going to go through and actually find what our actual solutions are. We said we either get 1, 2, or 0 solutions. Now we're actually going to plug it into the whole formula and figure out what our actual solutions are. Okay, so we see a quadratic equation like this. We have x squared minus 6x plus 5 equals 0. That's a good thing, right? It's equal to 0, so we can go ahead and jump right into what is our a, b, and c. Okay, so remember a is our leading coefficient there. So you write them over here. A is going to be 1, B is going to be -6, and C is going to be equal to 5. I'd strongly encourage you to write those out right away. That way you know what we're plugging in. Okay, we're going to stick with, let's find the discriminant first. Okay, and remember the discriminant, b squared minus 4ac, it's what's underneath the square root. Okay, so b squared, -6 squared, minus 4 times a is 1, times c is going to be 5. Okay, let's go ahead and solve this out. -6 squared, well, that's 36. Minus 4 times 1, which is 4, times 5, which is 20. All right, so what we have, 36 minus 20, is we're going to get 16. Okay, now remember, this isn't our answer. This tells us how many solutions we're going to get. Now we need to plug that in. Well, let's back up. That's positive, so that's going to tell us we're going to get 2 solutions. We don't know what those are yet, but that number tells us when we take the square root and we plug it into this quadratic equation here, quadratic formula, we're going to get 2 answers. Our job now is to figure out what are those answers. Okay, so the good news is we took care of this ugly stuff underneath the square root. Now we can just take that 16 and instead of plugging in for all those things, we already did that, we're just going to put 16 under our square root. Okay, so what we have now, the negative b means it's the opposite of b. So whatever this number is, whatever b is, take the opposite of that. So instead of -6, this is going to be a +6, plus and minus, that's in our formula, the square root, we already found that, that's the discriminant, and that was 16, so let's put 16 under there, all over 2a. Well, these are multiplied, so 2 times whatever a is, and a is going to be 1, so 2 times 1 is going to give us 2. All right, we multiplied them, a was 1, so it didn't change it, 2 times 1. Now we need to solve. Okay, so we have 6, plus and minus, we know the square root of 16. Okay, that's good, that's 4. So we have 6 plus and minus 4 over 2. Okay, and what we're going to do from here, remember how before we kind of split it into 2, because one was plus 4, one was minus 4? Let's do that again. Okay, let's go ahead and split this off into 2 different problems here. We have 6 plus 4 over 2, and 6 minus 4 over 2. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 over 2 is going to give us 5. Okay, and then 6 minus 4 over 2, well, 6 minus 4 is 2, and 2 over 2 is going to give us 1. Okay, think back to the discriminant. That was positive. That told us we were going to get 2 solutions. Now we know what they are by plugging them in, 5 and 1. Okay, and what we showed on that discriminant video, if we were to graph this, if we were to solve this by graphing, this graph would cross at 1 and at 5 on the x-axis.